Every single week seems to be packed with immense amounts of information regarding the MMO scene lately. New World, Lost Ark, Blue Protocol, Swords of Legends Online. There's just so much news going on right now that it is getting to a point where it's a little bit difficult to cover. But nevertheless, this is an amazing time for the MMO genre. And you know what else is amazing? The fact that we have 1,000 closed beta keys to give away for Elyon's upcoming second closed beta test. Yeah, 1,000 keys, and participating is easy. You can visit our website, which you will see on screen, or by clicking the link in the description for a full list of ways to enter. One of them though is to be actively subscribed to the MMO Byte YouTube channel, because this giveaway is for our subscribers. Then go on, scroll down, leave a comment stating why you want to play Elyon. That's it for the YouTube giveaway. We'll give away 200 keys to 200 different people down in the comment section below. The other 800 are available over on our website, so make sure you navigate on over to check it out. Alternatively, we will be raffling some of these away via Twitch over on our Twitch channel. We stream every Tuesday, every Saturday, and every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which, speaking of, we are going to be streaming a little bit later today if you want to come on over and join us. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this week's weekly bite of MMORPG news. In surprising superhero-related news, the upcoming indie MMO Ship of Heroes have just revealed that they are releasing into open beta testing beginning on August 7th. This means that anyone interested is capable of not only registering but also joining the test phase, as it is completely and entirely free. While the exact time frame of the test phase is currently unknown, it is expected to last for several weeks. As this is a test phase, there are expected to be quite a few bugs, and as this is an indie game, it's safe to assume that it will not be of the quality you'd expect out of a beta from a game like New World or Lost Ark, so do bear that in mind. Mabinogi is one of the oldest anime MMOs on the market and is continuing to receive regular updates every year that keep the game relevant. The latest update in specific offers quite a bit of content for players to partake of. We have new dungeon content, heck, we have entirely new dungeons, new missions to run, and plenty more. Additionally, it looks as though this was only part 1 of the update, with part 2 launching sometime in August with the remainder of the features and content. New World is launching next month on August 31st, and Amazon have been holding their final beta test phase for the game over the last couple weeks. I have played a solid number of hours thus far, and I really enjoyed the social aspect of the game. Actually, I have a dedicated video specifically pertaining to the social aspect if you guys are interested in checking out my thoughts on New World, but opinions on the game have definitely been divided. On the one hand, players are complaining that the game still feels unfinished, where on the other hand, players are saying that they haven't had this much fun in an MMO in a very long time. So I guess we'll see how good this really does in a few weeks. It's also worth noting that New World saw over 200,000 concurrent players logged into the game during its latest test phase, which means there were several times that many players playing in total. Over 1 million, maybe, but hundreds of thousands of active players at any given moment during the day is pretty amazing. For those of you awaiting the upcoming Elyon MMORPG, Kakao have confirmed that the game is going to be launching over in North America and Europe on September 29th. As noted earlier, I will be doing a giveaway for 1,000 closed beta 2 keys if you're interested in trying the game out. Elyon will of course be a buy-to-play MMO, meaning that it will require a single time purchase if you want to play it. The next beta test should feature the brand new Slayer class and additional content for players to consume, with the beta test in specific taking place from August 18th through August 23rd. Swords of Legends Online has seen a steady decline in population, dropping by over 50% in the few weeks it's been available. The reason for that, of course, is due to the fact that the leveling process was, in essence, a large tutorial to the game, and the game actually beginning once you reach level cap. But the level cap didn't really have or provide much to actually do. Mrs. Tix has been playing solo every single day since it launched, and even she is struggling a little bit here to maintain enough interest to keep going. Now, they did roll out their very first raid earlier this week, which brought thousands of players back to the game, and Mrs. Tix did manage to clear that first try, but the roadmap shows that players will still be without content for months to come. Bless Unleashed launches on PC next week. Yes, as of August 6, 2021, Bless once again makes its debut onto Steam, and they've already begun to allow players to purchase Founders Packs. I've covered why we should avoid the PC iteration of Blast Unleashed in the past. I urge you to go ahead and watch that if you're at all interested in playing this game. In news I honestly did not foresee, Pearl Abyss went on to confirm that Crimson Desert, the upcoming competitor to Black Desert Online, was delayed indefinitely. They have no idea when the game will release, and to add insult to injury, have no idea what the finished game will even look like at this rate, as they have expressed interest in, and I quote, adding new ideas for an even deeper, more enticing game. Players that thought Crimson Desert was coming in 2021 are going to be sorely disappointed, and given that we've seen nothing on their other titles such as Dokkaebi, yeah, things are not really looking all that good for Pearl Abyss right now. Speaking of Black Desert Online and Pearl Abyss, the Atoraxxion dungeon went live for players last week. This is the very first cooperative dungeon ever introduced into the MMO, taking the direction of the game away from an overworld monster grinding and pointing players towards working together, attempting a common goal, puzzle solving, and fighting monsters they've never encountered before, all with the intention of completing the dungeon, which, if what I've heard is to be believed, is quite different and very difficult to what players had experienced in other MMOs. In an unusually worded email from NCSoft, the developers have alluded to not only the active player numbers on Aion Classic, but they are actively attempting to persuade some of those players to abandon Aion Classic and move on to the live, much more current version of the game. Now, the email in question here reads, with the release of Aion Classic in the West, thousands of devas have been enjoying their return to Atreia. Some adventurers wish to expand their experience to the entire Aion universe, and for those devas, we have put together a brief guide on our most recent changes to Aion so that you can glide smoothly back into action. Yeah, there are mere thousands of players playing Classic, and I guarantee you there are significantly less on the live incarnation of the game. Is Aion Classic dead already after a mere month of existing? This email seems to be confirming that it is at the very least heading in that direction. Now, if NCSoft killing Aion and Aion Classic wasn't enough for you, then maybe this will be the final nail in the coffin you need to give up on them as a company. In an effort to further alienate their player base, NCSoft have confirmed that it is in the best interest of the game to introduce something they're calling Lineage 2 Aden. This is a version of the game that drastically alters many of the classes and introduces new dungeons, more importantly, makes the game much more, in their words here, solo friendly. And when I say solo friendly, I mean that all of these changes are being made specifically so players no longer need to play the game with other players. Yeah, removing the massively aspect of the MMO. Good job, NCSoft. While we're still awaiting news on Lost Ark's full release date, Smilegate have given South Korean players something fun to do in the form of a brand new raid. This is one thing I've always been impressed with when it comes to Smilegate and Lost Ark. They push out regular content, both in terms of PvE and PvP, but also with regards to keeping current players interested with new classes. That's more than you can say about most MMOs in this day and age. Ever since Lion Games gained publishing rights to SoulWorker, things have been going great for the game. Not only have thousands of players been concurrently logged in and playing, with tens of thousands of players playing every day, but we've seen better rates, less pay to win, and more content being pushed out. This is what the game deserved, in all honesty, and it is really thriving, I guess, thanks to the new direction of the game. I'd managed to stream their newest character, Lee Nabi, and I even went as far as to do a dedicated video on her earlier this week for those of you interested, but she's the very first character of her kind introduced into the game. There are events going on right now for those of you that have yet to go ahead and get in game and try the game out. I know you guys hear the name Nexon and you cringe a little bit, but maybe this time will be different. Maybe this time, oh, okay, you know what? Let's not kid ourselves here. Nexon have announced a competitor to Destiny 2 in the form of Project Magnum. Magnum is a third-person PvE RPG and is currently in development for both PC and console platforms. Supposedly, the game is going to feature beautiful visuals and unique sci-fi inspired character models and environments, which, you know, as a South Korean game, it is definitely easy to believe. It's just everything else, though, that makes me uncertain for the future and the longevity of the game. No trailer, no footage, nothing has been revealed for the game up until this point. This is my second inclusion of MapleStory in a news video in as many months, and that is because Nexon have pushed out part 2 of their Neo Light's Wrath update, introducing new story content, new bosses, new quests for characters level 270 and above, and more. Chimeraland is a brand new upcoming Glopen MMORPG. Yeah, Glopen is the term that they have used to describe the kind of game that this is. What it stands for is Global Open World, meaning that the world itself connects spherically, meaning that you can run in a straight line and eventually make it back to the point with which you started. The game recently held a beta test, and it is expected to release onto both PC and mobile devices, with the focus being mobile specific, it seems, if the trailers are anything to go off of. And finally, this isn't really news about Blue Protocol so much as wanting to just kind of clear up a little bit of confusion that's been going around recently. See, there is this rumor going on that Bandai Namco here are focusing a lot of their resources and their manpower into the upcoming Tales of Arise game. And in so doing that, they have taken away staff members, they have taken away resources from Blue Protocol, when the reality of it is Blue Protocol, Tales of Arise, the God Eater team, like all of Bandai Namco is divided into individual teams. Each team focuses on each different game, and the staff are more or less unrelated to one another and each team's respective games. So while we haven't had much in the way of new information or new news concerning Blue Protocol, that is not because they are focusing on other games and focusing less on this game specifically. And that is it. That is everything that was brought to my attention over the course of the last couple weeks. If you know of anything that I missed, go ahead, leave a comment, contact me via Twitter, via Facebook, via Discord. Make sure to go ahead and include the link to the article, and if applicable, I will go ahead and either do a dedicated video on it, or I will include it in the next weekly bite of MMORPG news.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.